Welcome to EJH British Cars, another episode with this 1955 Triumph TR2. We're going to be removing the front suspension as we prep the car for restoration. We're going to get the wheels off and then we will get back to you.
Well, I've gotten the brake drums off. So this is what they call a double leading shoe design. You can tell because it's a wheel cylinder here, another one there. So on our normal drum brakes, there's only one wheel cylinder. And when you activate the brake pedal, the shoe biting into the drum pushes the other shoe up against the stop. So if this was the stop, this shoe, well, it's supposed to be going this way. So if the stop was here, this shoe would push that shoe against the stop. So it's a way of creating power for the brakes without actually having to use a brake booster. This, because there's two cylinders, you have twice as much power to start with. So this is more expensive, but this is considered a superior design. And these, I think these are 10-inch drums, pretty sure. So here's an easy way to get the dust caps off. You put a sheet metal screw in, not necessarily one this long, it just came to hand. There you go. You run it in until it hits the top of the nut and the spindle. As you can see, it's already starting to come out, just like that. Pretty slick, huh? So here's the front brake with this piece of sheet metal. There's this piece right here removed. Next, expose these 4 bolts and locking tabs. And if you take those off, then this whole brake plate comes off, which I've already done on this side. So here's the steering knuckle. That's the plate it was bolted to. Here's the brake assembly. So those 2 long bolts go through and pick up the steering linkage here. Oh, and those these plates have small 3/8" nuts on the back, 3/8 wrench. So God only knows, that's probably 1032 the bolts, or it could be 3/16. This thing's so old. So as the screw goes through on this side, goes through the backing plate, and then a washer and a nut. And that's it.
This is the bottom stop from the suspension. I have to take some tension off the spring because it was tight against that stop. You can see that under this one under here, and this is also the shock mount under here. Normally you would just lower the car on the suspension to take pressure off that stop to get it out. Obviously can't do that because there's no weight on this frame. So I found a way to do that, but I don't suggest that you try to do that at home. You should use a proper method and be safe. So this is a special socket that's used to hold that oval shape on the top of a shock absorber. So you're going to do the nuts that hold the shock in place. I'm trying to show you that on the video, but there wasn't enough light. But you can see it fits over the top of the shock. It just holds that, and then you just use a wrench to undo it. I don't know what they call this socket, and to be honest, I think I found it in a used car I bought 30-40 years ago, so I don't even know where you would buy it, but boy, it sure is handy. Here's the front suspension with the spring and the lower pan removed. Also there's a spacer on top of the spring that came out. I've pulled the nuts off the end of the trunnion swivel here. And also notice these big washers are actually pressed onto a serrated section of that shaft where the nuts go. So they're going to come off a little tougher than you might have anticipated. So just be prepared for that. So here is the back fulcrum. So we need to take these plates off. So there's a big nut on the top, 2 smaller nuts underneath. They'll come off there just like 1/2 inch. They're pretty easy. So while you're taking this apart, you're going to find there's some heavy black, almost like rubber bands that go around the inner and outer edges of the trunnion bushings. And if you look, these are 67 years old and they're still in pretty good shape. And I tell you, I've rebuilt a few of these front ends, and the new ones fell apart before I got the car off the jack stand. So like in 3 weeks. So if you've got these that are intact, save them because they'll be better than anything you can buy, or at least you could the last time I could. Now, granted, that was a few years ago, and things may be better now, but if you got good ones, just keep them. So we've got the nuts on plates off of here. Trunnion nuts are all clear, front and back. We got the back cleared out. So we're ready to go ahead and start trying to take this apart. So this is my new Acme silent hammer. Actually, it's just I'm still voiceovering because a lot of these clips, the audio didn't get recorded. So anyway, I've given this a couple of cracks and the rear is hanging up. So I'm going to need to use my pry bar on it. So move the camera position so you guys can see a little better. And get the pry bar sort of wedged in here a little bit. Move the arm up and down and it's slowly drying off. What's happened is the inner sleeve is actually stuck on the fulcrum and it's rotating. The nylon bushing is rotating around the sleeve, which is rusty. So it's coming off slow but sure, but it's being a little more difficult. But that's okay. It's coming, and then after we get it all apart, I can use my nut splitter trick again to get that piece off of this shaft. So you get the last few taps, and it should be coming off here pretty quick. I know that it's just about off the trunnion, and once it's off the trunnion, then I'll be able to move it around a lot easier to get it off. So get a little bit more prying. There we go. If I wasn't filming, this would have gone much faster. You can always be sure of that. There we go. Yeah, see, it's off the trunnion now. So it should come off pretty easy. There we go. All off in one piece. So just wanted to show you the washers that are on the end of the trunnion outer pivot. That there's serrated marks on them. You can see the serrated section of the shaft, and that's where they squeeze on. When you put the bolts on or the nuts on, it just squeezes them past them. That's why they're a little bit tough to get off because it actually cuts serrations into the washer. So this is the front arm. You can see this still has the steel sleeve in the center. And if you look back here, and I'll pick the camera up so you can see, that steel sleeve stayed on, and that's why it looks so rusty instead of being a shiny shaft. So I'll have to use my nut splitter on that, and that'll come right off. You tighten it up and actually just pull the nut splitter to unscrew it. So we need to remove the upper fulcrum now. It's just a couple of nuts on either end, and then I'll need to get this ball joint out of the center. This arm is actually two arms, and the ball joint holds the two halves together. And you have to get the ball joint out to split them to get them off of that arm. So we've got the ball joint out. We've got the two fulcrum nuts off. And you can see there's a spacer in between these two half of the arms. And I've just been working on getting it apart. And there it is as the two halves, and that'll come right off. So here's everything removed. The two front bolts are shorter and they thread right into some nuts that are captured in there. The two back knots are longer and they just have nuts underneath. Don't know why they're different, but they are. So that concludes this episode of removing the front suspension on my TR2. Hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.